Growth, but with caveats. That's the title of our 2024 outlook. Starting with a growth perspective. After a weak start into the year, we think that global growth is likely to pick up. And in all of the big areas, particularly in the US, from the soft spot at the beginning of the year, we see some increasing momentum in economic activity. For the year on average, however, US growth will be somewhat weaker than last year, but with 1.2%, it's still decent. Looking at the euro area, we think that a growth rate around 0.5% of GDP is almost the same as it was in 2023. And in Germany, after the recession year 2023, we think that growth is slightly picking up to around 0.3% in the year 24 on average. In this environment, inflation will continue to come down, but after the big fall in 23, there are only modest declines in 2024 likely to happen. In this environment, central banks will be reluctant to cut interest rates heavily. So we think that the Fed will only start in the mid of the year with rate cuts, and by the end of 2024, we have seen 3 rate cuts, and the range of the federal funds rate will be between 4.50 and 4.75. The ECB only will join the club of cutting rate central banks at the end of the year. So we think there will be only 1 rate cut, with the deposit rate at 3.75 by year end. The Bank of England and the Swiss national banks are also likely to ease their interest rates in the course of the year. And there will some novum next year. The Bank of Japan is likely to end the negative interest rate environment and will lift the interest rates from slightly negative to 0. Now, coming to the caveats. There are lots of political uncertainties appearing, and there's a risk that new shocks can come through. That would mean that fiscal policy and monetary policy have to get in. And the amount of room to act is definitely smaller than it used to be. So if such a crisis will come through, there will be negative consequences for the economy. On top of this, we have a lot of political events. With the elections in Europe and particularly in the US, there will be sources of uncertainty coming through. And also in Germany, we have 3 states in eastern Germany to go to the ballot. And there is uncertainty coming from this side as well. And in an environment where the Constitutional Court just made a forward-looking decision regarding the budget policy, there is uncertainty also in German politics. In our base scenario, we do not think that this is going to get through in a negative environment, but we have to be alert in this view. That will lead to uncertainty in capital markets as well. But looking at the end of next year and coming back to the base scenario, we think that risky assets are likely to improve in their values and that long-term yields are likely to be lower at the end of 24 compared to now.